You in here? Fresh out of the freezer. Fresh, guess I was freeze up. Fresh out of the deeper freezer, cause I'm deeper than any voice on speakers. I can't hear y'all haters, you gotta speak up. I don't need to slow down, I need to speak up. Anonymous activity, Bobby B stuff. Jealousy's a key mask, emotion, and ease up. Fresh out of the freezer. Fresh, guess I was freeze up. Fresh out of the deeper freezer, cause I'm deeper than any voice on speakers. I can't hear y'all haters, you gotta speak up. I don't need to slow down, I need to speak up. Anonymous activity, Bobby B stuff. Jealousy's a key mask, emotion, and ease up. Fresh out of the freezer. Fresh, guess I was freeze up.
Yep.
Okay, wow, we did it.
Yep, we did it right on time. Welcome.
Thank you. So glad to be here. Glad to be
like,
here.
Seemed like that was going to take forever, didn't it?
Damn, it's about 200 degrees in here now, man. I'm like,
I'm sorry. That wasn't me.
My wife, so right there.
I did it. That was not me.
Hey, everything at the last minute.
Welcome. Welcome
Thank you.
to the
So glad
Ultimate
to be
DJ
here.
Music Review and More Talk Show. I am your host, Miss Taj B. As you guys can have the gatekeeper of the Black diaspora in the building, Mr. Isaiah Imani. And oh my goodness, boy, just like the last time we were having some difficulties. I got to prep my people like a week in advance before we get up here.
Yeah, for real, man. For real. I knew, but you know what? No matter how much prepping I get, man, there's always something that comes up, you know? Like, these things, you got to make sure that you cover all your bases long before you actually make an appearance, you know? So.
Yeah, I've
glad
been trying
to be here, though.
Yeah, I've been trying to brief my people like a week in advance after the last two shows because I have Repaton, who is a rapper on here. He couldn't seem to get his microphone to work.
Right.
I had Mr. Playdell Benjamin last week. We got his camera to work. We couldn't get the microphone to work.
Right.
So I was talking to him with the phone in my hand and his visuals on the screen, which was, it was pretty cool, but it was kind of frustrating, after that first week. And then when it happened to you this week, I was like, oh my Lord, not again. I went to praying. I don't know if you heard me over here talking about Lord, please. Because I recognize little strange stuff. You know what I mean? Like I start to recognize things when I see a pattern in it. I know that there's something else working at play. And a lot of people don't understand or even believe in spirit realm or God or that mode. But I sincerely do. And when I start seeing stuff like that, I know to unbreak that that hold. You get what I'm saying? Because sometimes I watch that hold be put on people to stop them from being able to go forward. Like I've been watching it in the spirit realm for a long time. I'm hoping me and Mamina Daz get into it because she's also a herbalist and stuff, and I'm quite certain that her being a herbalist, like I was kicking it with Dr. Tissa a couple weeks ago, understand the difference in between the what we call the earthly realm and spiritual realm. You get what I'm saying? So when I start seeing stuff like that, that's why you heard me start praying, because when I start seeing stuff like that, I know that it's not in the earthly realm.
Right.
It's in the spiritual realm. You know what I mean? But thank God, by the power and the way of Jesus Christ, I'm able and stronger than any stronghold placed against me. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm stronger than any stronghold placed against me. And sometimes I make the spirits mad with that. But welcome. I wonder if anybody can hear. Can y'all hear me out there in YouTube land?
Well, let me just say this.
You heard me. They probably can hear me, right?
Yeah, oh, definitely. I heard you loud and strong. You know, sometimes the application is overridden by your device. So my advice to future uh, folk who are going to appear on your show is to go into your own system and free up your device, because that's what I had to do after all of that rigmarole. I went into my device, into my microphone settings, right?
Hmm.
Privacy settings, and unprivatized it, which is
Okay.
what I probably have to do once I'm done with you, because as we well know now, um, people can spy on you through Facebook, through these applications and whatnot. If you don't have your privacy settings on, So for that reason, I'm always ultra on the alert to keep those things private, because you never know, you know.
Isaiah, be truthfully honest. My computer is brand spanking new.
Right.
Right. I've only used it now twice.
Okay.
So only one
So
that could
go
really
into your,
break into this one right now. I don't have Facebook or none of that on there. But the only
okay.
person that could really break into this device right now is my teammate.
Uh huh.
If that makes sense to you, because I gave him permission to be able to break into it when I need something fixed or whatever.
Right.
So
Right. Right.
one of my teammates at the record at the radio station is the only one that could really jailbreak me right now. But I
Right.
even I even got on him and had him laughing about it. I was saying to him, "Don't be in here watching me walk around butt naked in here, Troy." So
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
said I
That's what they do.
he said I can only do that when you on StreamYard. So me and him was crying laughing about that. But welcome once
Yes. You're
again
welcome.
to the
Glad to be
Ultimate
here.
DJ Music Review and More Talk Show. And usually I have this thing that I do, right? Thank you, Lord, for allowing this stream. But what I
Hmm.
do is I usually have like a 5 question thing that I do, and I let everybody introduce themselves first because we're not cammed up. I think we ought to do the introduction first. Can you introduce yourself to the people?
Yes. My name is Isaiah Imani. I am, as I introduced myself earlier, a cultural gatekeeper for the African diaspora. Many years ago, I began to study the culture of African people, particularly those in diaspora, because I wanted to find that connection that we had to the motherland.
Mm-hmm.
And it has been a great journey for me. So much so that I started my own little Facebook page. It's called DAP, which is the it's a portfolio of the African diaspora, and this is a daily thing that we do. Along with some of our administrators, is to keep abreast of things that are cultural in our community in the present day, as well as take us back to the past so that we know where we came from and where we're headed in the future. So
Yes.
that's my thing now. But of course, I was a working man. I've worked for the MTA. I'm retired from that. I'm a father, an ex-husband, and just a regular guy.
Isaiah Imani, we got another one of the podcasters over here. Hassan Tahir Show is giving you a salute, a welcome.
Thank you, Hassan. Appreciate you.
Okay, so
Appreciate
now
you.
I don't know if you know what I do, but I do this 5 question thing,
Mm-hmm.
where I ask 5 questions, specifically uh, tailored to what you do, and
Okay.
it gives us a chance to go into a, like an open, broader conversation. And then after we answer the question, then we get a chance to clown out a little bit. So, you
Okay.
ready for the questions?
Sure. Sure.
What inspired you to
I hope.
focus on? They not too bad. I'm pretty cool with it. I ain't too bad with it. What
Okay.
inspired you to focus on pictorial history, particularly related to the African diaspora?
That's a great question. You know,
Oh, the
for a long
questions is
time it was
groovy.
just me.
The questions
Okay,
is
I'm sorry.
groovy. I'm
It's a
sorry. Go
great
ahead.
question. No, it's a great question because for a long time it was just me and my books. You know what I mean? And I
Hmm.
really didn't have an outlet. As a matter of fact, I remember a time, say in the early 2000s, when I, started to, people would call it spam. I started to spam all of these different black personalities, and I'd start conversations with them via my email, and I was very fortunate because I would contact people like Amiri Baraka, people who were my heroes,
Hmm.
in the culture, in the black cultural world, and the activist world. And I guess maybe it was because of my way with words, written words, that is. They took me seriously and they would just have these conversations with me. And sometimes they would shoot back an email that I wasn't even expecting. Or somebody told me one day, go on Facebook. That would be pretty good place for you to expand your horizons with this. And
Yeah.
so when I got on Facebook and I learned that I could actually transfer photos that I had collected to Facebook, and kind of, I don't like saying I teach people. I don't. I just try to provide information, and then you teach yourself. Uh, but the Facebook was my connection to other brothers and sisters, who I might not ordinarily meet, such as yourself.
Yes. Yes.
So I don't know if that answers your question. Did I beat around the bush with that, or
No, it was absolutely, it was right on point because
okay?
it segues into the next question. That's why I like to hear what you say, because the next question says, how do you select the images and photographs you use in your work, and what criteria do you apply to ensure their historical significance and accuracy?
Another great question. Another great question. One which I'm not.
Oh, the
I
questions
don't know
is
if I'm
groovy.
sufficiently prepared to answer, but first of all, it has to appeal to me on a aesthetic level. You know, um, it also has to appeal to me for its spontaneity. Um, like someone who is a famous person who, with their guards down, they took a photo. Not this studio stuff, but
Hmm.
a photo, and it just comes off like so powerful. Like I posted a picture the other day of Jesse Owens, the Olympic sprinter,
Hmm.
kissing his wife. And when you look at this picture, of course, we all see ourselves when we're viewing a picture like that. But my thing was, as I saw this picture, here was a man deeply feeling his woman, you know, and I was hoping that in posting that picture, others would kind of feel what I felt. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
mean, sometimes you post pictures that don't go over well. They just as flat as a pancake. But you give it your best try. But I hope to also get people to ask questions about the photo. Where it was taken, why it was taken. You know, the location where it was taken. Things like that, so that we can dig deeper.
Hmm.
So that's pretty much a criteria for me. You know, the aesthetics
Okay.
of it and the spontaneity of it.
Okay, so how do you ensure their historical significance and accuracy?
Oh man, you know what? I do a lot of that. I do a lot of sort of fact checking and back checking and trying to get the real story behind the photo. I'm not always successful with it. Because I post a lot of photos and I'll be spending my whole life trying to find a real backstory. I mean, oftentimes when something or someone else supports the backstory, the sources, as we say, the secondary, the tertiary, the primary. If you can get that, great. If not, you just have to roll with it until such time as the real story surfaces.
Yes, yeah, yeah,
But I
yeah.
try
Play
my
it by ear.
damnedest. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I try my damnedest to make sure that I'm posting something with an accurate history. You know,
Okay.
because people post pictures all the time and they don't have the accurate story. I hate that.
I know. I've gone through that a couple times where they be telling something else. They be telling a whole lie. They
Yeah, a
be
whole
telling
lot
a
of nonsense.
whole
Yeah.
lie. I got a couple people like that. We ain't gonna name no name, Omari. Let me keep going. Anyway,
Oh my goodness.
anyway, can you share a specific image or series of images that you feel have had a profound impact on your understanding or interpretation of African diaspora history?
Oh man,
Want me want me read it again?
yeah, that's such a massive
Okay, let me do it step by step.
question.
Can you share a specific image or series of images that you feel have had a profound impact on your understanding or
Uh, my
interpretation
un- my understanding of what in particular.
of African diaspora history?
Oh man, you know what? There's so many of them because you know what? What I'm always trying to do is connect us historically to ourselves. Our ancestors. Um, we're so far removed from them now. There was a time in my life when when somebody called me African, um, I accepted that, and then I began to realize that nah, I'm an American. I'm an African American,
Yes.
and I am a child of the continent, but I'm not an actual child of the continent. And I
Yeah.
accept that now. So I'm always just trying to connect us to that, great culture that we come from, and
They
I'm
said we don't
also
got
trying.
no culture.
Oh, that's because you. I didn't say you, but um, that's because one who accepts that about themselves um, hasn't studied. Because it's interesting too that our great historians, guys like Carter G. Woodson, Arturo Alfonso Schoenberg,
Hmm.
they were all told the same things. They were all because these guys were born in the 1880s, and they were, told that we didn't have a history, and they set about to prove that these white folks was wrong. You know,
Yeah.
and so we have to give all of our love and appreciation, to them for what they did, to push this history and this culture forward.
Yeah.
I mean, um, getting back to your question a little bit, I'm always trying to find out, the origin stories of, you know, our ancestors. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Because our ancestors came over here. I believe 30% of the ancestors who came over here, they were Muslims. There were no Christians who came over on that ship, on those ships. The Christianity was learned in this hemisphere. Um, so about 70% of us who arrived here, we arrived with the cultural
Well,
uh,
70% of us were
original.
already here. But go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
We'll get into that afterwards. I'm sorry.
yeah. So we came here with um, traditional African religious background, you know. So um, I'm always trying to connect us to that, you know,
Mhm.
because I personally I'm not religious. I don't subscribe to religions, but I do subscribe to the fact that we came over here a very different people than we are now.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not necessarily trying to return us to that, but I want us to know that whenever we are encounter people who want to question our Africanness, we can show them very real connections to the continent and its cultures. There's not one culture; there's like many cultures. Um, so I'll let
Okay.
you continue with your questions and stuff.
Okay. No, because I got a couple after we finish the five. I want to say a couple things. How do you address the challenges of preserving and authenticating historical photographs, especially those that are rare or have been subject to deterioration over time?
You know what? I just keep posting them, and I definitely keep hoping that people will share them, and they reach as many people as there are Black people on this planet.
Yeah.
Because I myself don't own these pictures. These are pictures that I've collected from the internet. You know,
Yeah.
and I'm glad I don't own them because, but that's another story. Uh, so I want the pictures to be shared, and that's how we continue to preserve them. You know, and preserve the history.
Okay. Okay, that's question number four. So we doing pretty good. In what ways do you believe pictorial history can complement or enhance traditional textual historical narratives about the dispersed?
Oh man, because pictures, as we often say, pictures are worth 1,000 words. They're worth 1,000,000 words, depending upon who you are. What type of emotional connection you have to the pictures. You
Mm-hmm.
know, so and they kind of bring you to that essence of history. Like I'm often being quoted now saying to brothers and sisters that our culture, the thing that we practice daily, is far more important than the history we get out of books
Mm-hmm.
because that's all theoretical stuff, you know. But if I can touch it, if I can taste it, I could feel it, I could hear it, you know. We all do that. Anytime we listen to some music made by people of African descent, we don't care whether it's soul or samba or Afro-Cuban, Santeria, whatever it is, salsa. Um, we are. That's it. Totally enveloped in the experience of our culture.
Mm-hmm.
So that's empirical knowledge that we have. It's not something that we have to go read it in a book. You know, we feel it and experience it every day of our lives.
Okay, so those are 5 questions.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
that
Got
was
through
it.
that.
See I'm trying to tell you, the 5 questions is to break up the monotony in the middle, right?
Uh
But
huh.
I have a question, like, can you describe a significant project or collection you worked on that had a profound impact on your understanding?
Oh man, I basically be doing that every day, which is and these things I don't even share them on Facebook. The vast majority of this stuff I don't even share on Facebook anymore. It's just like I'm collecting these photos fast and furiously. Like for example, right? I belong to the Nation of Islam as a young kid.
Mm-hmm.
Gangs was out here, and I was trying to resist these gangs. And what I saw was some brothers out here who uh, I figured, I would enlist their help. Let's put it that way. Some people would say, "Oh, you used them," but I was a kid. I was enlisting their help to help me fight off these gangs.
Mm-hmm.
So I have this deep crush on the NOI because that's like maybe the first organization I ever joined or became a part of,
Mm-hmm.
and there's so much history there. So I'm always collecting pictures. You notice me. I'm always collecting and sharing pictures of my NOI brothers. Past and present. Malcolm X, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Farrakhan. Probably more brothers and sisters. The sisters was beautiful. Always. Um, you know, uh, Decked out. In their whites and you know. Um, I'm also a big sports guy. So I'm always posting pictures of sports guys, athletes. I'm always posting pictures of women. That's another particular black women because black women purvey and convey the culture better than anyone. You know,
What? Not according to the
That-
manosphere. Not according to the
well,
manosphere.
yeah. Well, if it wasn't, let me put it to you this way, Natasha. If it wasn't for black women, we wouldn't have a culture.
I know.
So
I'm
yeah,
aware.
yeah. So that's a particular. Uh, all one has to do is observe the pictures I post, and I'm not. I hate to. I'm not trying to take political positions with this because, like I said, it's a cultural thing. But that
Yeah.
becomes a part of it, I guess. The politics and the history and I want people to see the beauty of it, but it goes beyond that. I had a lot of people, some of my my activist friends, tell me, including Playdell and brother. I don't know if I know you heard of him, Daruba Ben Wahad, and brothers like that, Black Panther, Black Liberation brothers. Um, they told me that I like what you're doing, but you need to be more political about things. And I'm like, you know what? We get so much politics on Facebook. I don't want to be that run of the mill political uh, voice
Mhm.
on Facebook. Everybody
Mhm.
is spouting politics on Facebook. So I want to give people something they can come to and enjoy and relax and feel at home with.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
as a result, I post a lot of pictures of the black church. I post a lot of pictures of, like I said, black women. Forget about it, right? Black music, which embodies just about everything that we are. You know, the drum. You know, um, black children, black people dancing. Um, it might be stereotypical to some. To me, it's our essence.
Yeah, absolutely. Tariq Nasheed call it our Manjura spirit. He said we
Yes.
got that little magic aura spirit that we got going on in America. So, because of all the histories and the oppressions, that brought us together to make us this certain type of culture that everybody is trying to feed on right now. Like they're literally trying to take us from us at this point, and they're
Exactly.
and they're claiming that everything is everybody's except us. Like it's like they will never give us that these people are magnificent pat on the fucking back. You know what I mean? And so
Nothing wrong with
that's
that.
yeah, that's my greatest headache when it comes to being out here in the world is that even, amongst, like I was saying, the manosphere, even amongst the manosphere sometime, you'll get, and you said it, for yourself, women are usually the ones that push the culture harder. And you can't even get the men to admit, that my woman is the shit.
Yeah, yeah,
They say everybody else woman is the shit but their own. You get what I'm saying? So it's kind of
yeah,
hard for a person like myself who is trained up from men to fight on the behalf of us and have the men attack me. You understand what I'm
yeah.
saying?
It's
Like that is the most heartbreaking thing in my life. I literally went viral for crying about it.
right.
Because that's one of the most heartbreaking things that I've ever had to suck down was the fact that I'm being told while fighting for my own man and my own household and my grandmother's heritage and my great grandparent, while I'm fighting for us, being told I'm not shit by my own
Right.
man.
No, I believe me when I because I try to get to the bottom of that. The what is what is at the bottom of that, and I I because my studies teach me that beyond a shadow of a doubt that I am nothing without my woman. I'm absolutely nothing without my woman,
Hmm.
and I can hold that. You know, I'm an incomplete person without my woman, and I can hold all of that without feeling inadequate. But I don't know. So many of us as brothers, we feel inadequate. You know, and this is what amazes me. You know, hey, look, I didn't have the greatest relationship with my mom, but I learned some things from my mom
What
that
about your dad?
continue to resonate with me. My dad was cool, you know, but my dad died when I was 13.
Okay.
Um, so I didn't get to experience the fullness of a relationship with him. It's just
Okay.
that young kid shit, you know.
And
If
when
you
did
don't
your
mind
beef
me
start with
cussing.
your mom? No, no, no. It's okay. We way past the 2 minutes.
Well, my mom was distant. She's a distant woman, but
Before
a
or
lot
after
of
your dad?
what was that?
Before or after your father?
Uh everything. Every before, during, after. She was just here's the thing with my mom, I think, you know, I mean, first of all, grandma was distant. She was very harsh,
Yes.
very cold, and to an extent, I mean, my brother uh who spent five I wish my brother was here doing this interview with me. Because he's a incredible human being to me. But he spent 5 years living with her in South Carolina, And he told me one day, he said, "You know what, man? Grandma loved us, but there was time I just felt like that woman fucking cruel, man." And I was like, "Really?" He said, "Yeah." And one of my sister, who a little older than me by a few years, she went down south one time and she called my grandmother cuckoo. Oh, that woman cuckoo. And she was a young girl at the time. They sent her back here quick, right? Sent her back to Brooklyn quick. But so my mom, that's how she came up,
Yeah,
and she was probably
she couldn't
shouldn't.
pour
Yeah,
into
I
you.
told my
Yeah.
mom, my mom maybe shouldn't even had a lot of kids. She had 6 kids, and it was too much for her.
She
She didn't.
probably
She
didn't
didn't.
even kids.
I think it was too much for her, and I think my father being an idiot. Just because I said my pops was cool doesn't mean he wasn't an idiot.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's a whole other story that maybe sometime in the future. But so my mom's was taking care of a household, and she was taking care of her husband, who
Yeah.
was like the seventh kid. Shit.
Yes.
Um, but my mom taught me some really great lessons. She was a big baseball fan. My first Black History lesson was her reciting the story of Jackie Robinson to me. So you will find me posting a lot of pictures of Jackie Robinson because as I post pictures of Jackie, it reminds me of my mom a bit. She took
Yeah.
me to my first baseball game. You know, she is a big fan of Joe Frazier, who was from like her hometown, and the Dixie Hummingbirds from her home. Yeah, I came up with all this South Carolina stuff, and um, South Carolina is a very, really rich black culture, man.
That's my
That's
my
where the Sea
grandfather
Islands
people,
are.
the Geechee people. That my
Yeah,
grandfather
that's
people.
what she is, man.
Yeah, my
Like,
grandfather people, the Geechee people.
there you go. And these people have a connection to Africa a lot like, let's say, people from New Orleans,
Mm. Where my
the,
dad is from.
see? So, yeah, like, and Mississippi and these places where you can see, oh, this is where these people, these the roots of black culture, the black
I don't know nan over
American
there in
culture.
Mississippi but Fro.
Yeah, true. But this is where the blues come from, where jazz come from, where all
Hmm.
that gospel music, all that good stuff. But um, so long story short, my mom gave me a lot of lessons that at first I didn't recognize. I didn't. It takes time for you to get older and see all of the things that formed you and made you who you are.
Yeah.
So for you to really uh, become clear about them, you know. So I don't know. I don't know. Maybe these brothers need to grow up and reflect, take some self inventory about themselves and their lives, and see the value of all that bullshit about I'll always love my mama, you know, and then you go and give all your money to a Mexican girl,
Yeah.
like my man
Yeah.
Kobe Bryant, right? His dad died yesterday,
Yeah.
and I
I know that
remember
broke my
the
heart.
yeah, man, I
Cause
remember the
that woman let his parents struggle all the way to the end. That was like heartbreaking for me. I was
and
like,
yeah,
you know what
that's
people
Kobe's
going through?
fault. That's Kobe's freaking fault,
Yeah, it is.
you know. And Kobe said something. I'm not like a lot of people are fans of Kobe, like the fans of Michael Jordan. Okay, cool, I get it. All right. But Kobe once said that he gets his competitive tenacity and determination from his mom. From his mom. So if that be the case, and that's what made you who you are, yo, man, you gotta take care of your moms. He also said great things about his dad too.
Yeah, because he got
But
that basketball hustle and that skill and that placement from his dad. Because if it
oh,
wasn't from
definitely
his father being a player ahead of him and in the league before him, that wouldn't even gave him a foot in. You get what I'm saying? So
jelly bean.
everything about him is attributed back to his parents, whether he want to give it up to them or not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he just let somebody come in there and boss him around and use her little whatever to manipulate millions of dollars out of the black community. Um, and unfortunately, too many of us fall prey to that, fall victim to that.
Well, can I give you my theory real quick?
Sure.
Okay, I'm gonna try and give you my overall quick theory, right? My theory to that is that how else do they reap their money back that they just gave y'all? Cause see, when y'all give money to them white women, them Spanish women, them Oriental women, there, that money don't come back to the black community.
No,
They
it
don't
doesn't.
they don't shop in the black community. So how better for white folks to reap their money back and their benefits back than to send somebody in there that don't look nothing like your community to come get the money back from you. Like look at Tiger Woods. You get what I'm saying? He
Yeah.
literally had to pay this woman almost half of his income and then she ain't shot near damn ball. You
There
you
you
get
go.
what I'm
And you know
saying?
what?
Like it's been ongoing and I'm like so stunned that they didn't catch on like the black man because just like rap, they do the same thing with created. Once they started seeing Sidney Poitier and all the millionaire movie stars and stuff started marrying white women, then the black basketball players and the black baseball players, the black athletes started stepping up as a so-called plan, like Jim Brown said, for them to be able to come in and help the community. But then when they got
Right.
rich, they didn't help the community. They helped
Right.
the other people's community.
Right.
And so much so that they're talking down on us like what's his name LT? Is his name LT that's running with Donald Trump? What's his name?
Running
The,
with Donald JB
remember he
Bernard.
remember he was running for Donald Trump, the football player that was and his son was burning his ass up online.
Oh,
Was it
Herschel Walker.
yeah, Herschel? You see how
Yeah.
bad they talk about us once they get out the hood?
Oh my goodness.
I mean,
And
look
you
at
know,
what OJ went through. I'm surprised that nobody ever even caught on from what OJ went through. Like, this is what you go through once you unown and unask your money to these people and not back to the community that it's supposed to be going to, which is your community, your parents, your friends who sacrificed to make sure that you got to where you needed to be.
right,
Because there was some sacrifices made in the hood. Because we got the sacrifice. We ain't got it on tap like everybody else. So we got the sacrifice to make
right,
sure that you get to where the fuck you going with hopes that you might look back and throw us a couple beans.
right.
But it don't happen like that. And then they get the
Unfortunately,
attitude like, oh man, and they keep asking me for stuff. Yeah, but look at all the shit they sacrificed for you though. Like
yeah,
now
all the
you
stuff
got
they
something,
gave
now
you as
you
you
don't
were
loan
coming up.
money. Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know what? That type of level of ingratitude, I got to admit, again, I'm gonna go back to my mom, man. Like there's certain lessons that she taught me. You know, they call it homiletics. Stuff that you teach your kids. Character stuff. If
Yeah.
you did something wrong, admit to it, apologize to it. Don't let the sun set on stuff like that. Um, be grateful for just about anything somebody else does for you because they didn't have to do it. Okay. Um, be mannerable to people. Be humble. To people. There's nothing wrong with being humble. There's nothing wrong with being or saying the words "thank you" to people, and
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate that. Um, but I think when you don't learn those lessons and you become arrogant and your head becomes really big, uh, that's what happens. You tend to forget the fact that all of the sacrifices that were made for you. You know, how many mornings did your mom get out of bed and make you breakfast so that your stomach was full on the way to school? You know, how many nights did she cook for you?
You know
Or your
what they
dad
say
too?
is that that's what you're supposed to do. That's in their mind you supposed to.
Okay, I didn't catch that last part.
I said, but in their mind, that is what go along with the territory you're supposed to.
No, I'm not.
You get what I'm
No,
saying? They
you are
equivalate
supposed to.
what you do for them as what you're supposed to do. That's an entitlement factor, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, but you know what? You're not entitled to it because there are a lot of kids out here whose parents don't do those things. So you should be grateful that you got some parents that cared enough to take care of you and not neglect you. So um, it's a symbiotic relationship that you have with your people. It don't have to just be your mama and your daddy. It could be auntie and first cousin. I noticed that about LeBron. LeBron got his money and he took care of his neighborhood friends. People seem to resent that.
Yeah, I like 50 Cent for doing that. I like 50 Cent for being right around the block all the time. Like
Hmm.
even though he got up and he got up, I like 50 because he don't splurge his money on name brand stuff. He buy on the block stuff from the people on the block.
Hmm.
Like he shopped round the way. He said, I don't what why would I be spending $1,000 on this shirt just to walk around the corner for?
Hmm.
He said that's as far as we go once we got money because we can't go too much further than that once we got money. So
Hmm.
why would I spend $1,000 to go around the block? And he
Exactly.
make perfect sense when he can spend $5 at the store that he been spending his $5 for his white T-shirt at, and put on him a pair of jeans and a fresh pair of kicks and keep it going, and he's still straight. He's still clean. You
Right.
you understand what I'm saying? But they don't they
Oh yeah.
we don't seem to buy into that mental when it comes time for doing things, and out doing things because for some reason to keep up with these people who are spending like they said $6 for a shirt that they're charging you 2,500 for. They're spending $7 for a pocketbook that they're selling to you for $3,500. You get what I'm saying? and
Right.
and and this is another way of reaping back the money that they give us. You get what I'm
Right.
saying? Didn't
Hmm.
hear nothing about Puffy and all this stuff Puffy been doing all these damn. I ain't hear nothing about Puffy until Puffy said he ain't want selling people alcohol no more. He will open up his own shit. That's when I started hearing all the punches come out about Puff. You get what I'm saying? Cause Puff had been doing that stuff that he was doing for years, and ain't nobody said a word.
Right.
But when it all rained down on him was when he decided he didn't want to make money for somebody else no more. That's why when people ask me, and I've been asked like several times on every show, well, what do you think about Puff Daddy? I'm like, I don't fucking know Puff Daddy.
Right.
You get me? I don't know Puffy.
Me either.
Me and Puffy ain't never hung out. I done hung out with some people around Puffy, but I ain't never hung with Puffy. I don't know Puffy. I ain't
Right.
that Puffy ain't never did shit to me, and so therefore I can't speak on what Puffy did to anybody else, because Puffy didn't do nothing to me. I said what I see is the death of the black billionaire, and y'all can't see it.
Right. No, I hear
Like, cause
you.
I'm gonna stick in the vibe of the old school gangster where I don't know nothing. You get what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
See, 'cause that's how they keep their money, cause they keep their mouth shut.
Yes.
All
And they
somebody
stay
got to
out the
do is
public.
Yeah, all they got to do is somebody throw something in they face black, and you see all the black people running. Y'all be like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah.
It'd be like
Yeah.
that Bugs Bunny thing. All Polly on the rabbit. All Polly on the rabbit. You get what I'm saying? I'm looking around like, what just happened? And then you
Yeah.
have to ask
Exactly.
the question of what did he do to you though? Because like you have a vicious vitriol against a man who have never done anything to you.
Right. 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 Well, you know what? His his whole thing started with the lawsuit, right? With the females who filed the lawsuit against him.
Yeah, Cassie.
Right. That's where all of this began to happen when
No,
they
it
passed
started
the
with the
law that you have.
wine.
What was
No, it
that?
started with the alcohol. It started with the alcohol. That was before Cassie.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, I thought it was when
That
they
was
began to pass the
mm-mm,
law that there's a statute of limitations now on who you
bro.
can. Yeah.
That rollout came before Cassie. Look it up. You'll see what I'm saying.
Okay.
When I started noticing, and I'm gonna be quite frank, right? I'm gonna be quite frank. When I started noticing the attack on Puff Daddy was when he said no to Burner Boy coming up there to go get a Grammy because he said he hadn't worked hard enough in America to deserve a Grammy. How do he feel like he deserved a Grammy over everybody else? And then there was this big uproar. So what I noticed was the Africans coming in trying to take over hip hop, and they was gonna force their way into hip hop. And then when Puff Daddy said no, everything went awry.
Oh, okay.
Look it up, Isaiah. If you think I'm lying, look it up. Because he
Okay.
was on that
Okay.
Grammy board. And he said no to Burna Boy. Because Burna Boy had
Right.
just finished saying black people in America ain't got no culture while trying to co-opt our culture.
Is that what? Oh man, these people are so. To me, they bite the hand that feeds.
Every time.
It's ignorance.
And Puffy said no. And ever since then, they've been firing off on Puffy ass. Ever since. And that's why when they say to me, what do I think about Puffy? I say I don't got nothing to say about Puffy because Puffy ain't did nothing to me.
Right, right.
Because I see what y'all trying to do. Y'all trying to bury this man, and then you telling me that Jay-Z is next. So that all I can see is the death of the black billionaire.
Right, right. I see a bunch of people also pushing that narrative pretty heavy, you know. It's gonna come on back on them. It's like it's gonna come back on you, you know. If you don't, mind your business and keep it moving, it's gonna come back on you, you know.
Yeah, because
So
they gatekeeping something that they should be gatekeeping the whole block. Like how y'all forget these people buried Greenwood? How y'all forget the fighting over there in Tulsa? How y'all forget the drowning of these people down here in Georgia? Like how did y'all forget so quick?
right.
To the
I don't
point where
even
y'all are turn on each other for these people right here. I'm looking around at everybody like they like you don't want to be over there with them. I like I don't like them motherfuckers. Yeah,
yeah, that
why you don't like them out there? It can't be trusted.
you see that just perpetuates our division, internal division, you know. It's ignorance. Straight up ignorant, man.
So
But it is
my question for you would be, in your opinion, what role do pictorial histories play in educating and connecting younger generations to the diaspora with their heritage? Like, what can you share any examples where your work has made a impact, a tangible impact?
I can't say I've had a tangible impact on young people per se, except maybe through their own parents or through like I have friends on Facebook who actually share a lot of the stuff that we post on their page so that their children do learn these things. You know,
Yes.
what that impact is going to be, it's not, I don't know, it's not tangible to me, you know. The only tangible that I could think of would be like, let's say, at one time we had free medical clinics. At one time we had free breakfast programs.
Hmm.
At one time we had, free
Set up by the Black Panthers.
clothes. That's tangible to me,
Hmm.
If you walk away from it with a clearer, more enthusiastic love for your culture, that's tangible to me. Because when you feel good about yourself, you're going to accomplish some good things in life. Um, but unfortunately, I cannot sit here and say that I've seen the tangible results that, like maybe a school teacher might see. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like your grades improved over what they were last year or last semester. Um, but I can only hope that the stuff that we post, the young people are looking at it and saying, yeah, um, I think that by becoming more aware of my culture, I can do things that maybe I would have been held back from doing. I
Hmm.
wouldn't have the level of confidence that those who came before me had. So I hope that that is part of what we do.
Yeah. So now I have a question of my own, because me and you have talked about we have talked about the diaspora a couple times, especially when I went to Italy and I was taken aback, right? And like you said at the beginning of this interview, we were talking about the fact that you realize you're not African, you're American, right?
Hmm.
It took me a second to realize that when I realized that is when I was in Italy,
Right.
right? And I had went through this whole situation. Like I was so happy to see the Africans when I got I was so happy. Like I was elated. Like, oh my God. And I don't know if me being happy to see them had made any sort of impact on them, because immediately I was met with, well, where are you from? Like it was an immediate diss from the African people as soon as, as I was coming in. Just these sets, not all of them, because I met a couple other sets, and believe it or not, me and my brother Roland is still tight right to this day. Roland is still following me from
Right.
Italy on my Instagram page. So me and Roland stayed tight throughout this whole situation. And I met another little brother over there named Lou King. And Lou King, me and him just immediately attached to each other like that. Like that was like my little brother automatically. But I had met
Hmm.
some really nasty, not, and he was Lou King and them are from they were from Uganda, and Roland is from Ghana. So they spoke English, right? But
Mm.
these other two from Nigeria were like really nasty. And I said, I'm an African American. I'm from America. They like, no, you're American. You're not African. I'm nothing African about you. Nothing African. Like real hostile and real nasty. And I looked down and, I got a flip mode on the inside of me that's real dangerous. Like my flip mode go off in the middle of my brain, and it turned me like I tell people all the time, and I be telling them the truth, but they don't listen to me. And I be trying to tell them I got an inner Dexter that live on the inside of me. You know what I mean? Like, and my
Mhm.
Dexter turn on immediately. My inner Dexter like turn right on, and I be looking at him like, where can I plant you? You get what I'm saying? So my brain, I had to shut my whole brain down when people start talking to me like that. You get what I'm saying?
Mhm. Mhm.
But so when he said it to me, I was so offended, but I didn't. I said, I just looked over at him because I recognized that you one of them slave traders.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? That's what I
Oh yeah.
realized when he said it. I was like, oh, you one of them slave traders. I said, and so I said to him instead, I said, no, motherfucker, I'm one of them Africans that y'all sold to America, bitch.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was offended by me, like he was like, oh, and I'm looking at him like, nah, because that's how I feel when you hit me. I'm going to hit you back and I'm going to hit you hard.
There you go.
You get what I'm saying? So now I see this man again, right? Because he was so nasty and hostile. But by the time that I disrespect him so hard, we was getting off the train into where we were going in Azizi. You get what I'm saying? But I seen this man at
Mm-hmm.
the grocery store, like at two different grocery stores, and the disrespect that he received from those people were outrageous.
Mm.
They disrespect him at the highest level. When I tell you, and then he looked back at me for help. And I looked over at him because I'm a picky somebody when I want to be. And I looked at him and I
Mm-hmm.
smirked, like, nodded my head, like, see?
And these were the Italians.
Yeah, the Italians disrespect the hell out of them Africans. They do not like
Right.
them, don't want them over there, don't frequent anything around us, don't come around. They don't like them. But as
Right.
soon as they seen me, and I said to them, no, not African, not Americano. And I did it on purpose because that's what he said.
Right.
So I did it on purpose. I'm picky. I could be picky sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And so I
Mm-hmm.
said that I said to them, nah, Americano. And then I looked over at him and smirked. They said, oh, Americano, welcome.
See?
Salute. Yes, yes, salute, salute.
Salud.
Buenasera, buenasera. They welcoming and saluting me. I looked over at him and smirked twice, not just at that store, but at a bigger grocery store down in San Vital. In River
He
Torto, I
deserved
had
it.
ran into. Yeah, I'm telling you, I smirked right on him. I straight played all in his face like a sucker. Like, see, like you
Well, you know what?
disrespecting you. You disrespecting me, who look like you,
Exactly.
and
Exactly.
everybody around us disrespecting you. And now you looking back at me for some help. I look down like, please, like I wish I would help you.
Right.
You get what I'm
Well, you
saying? So
got one
that's where I'm
today.
at with them right now. So when it was a good thing for me to bring you up that because of the name, Diaspora African Pictorial Page, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I just wanted to pick your mind about what do you think about what that is with us, with the African people, and why do they hate us so badly that way?
Um. Well, you know what I noticed? I noticed that certain people, they've been fed a lot of BS about African Americans, and of course, they see us, and there's a lot of envy. There's a lot of envy for how we live here. You know,
But we created
and I
it.
can no, true, true, but um, they live in a lot of poverty,
But we
and they
created our
look at us.
lifestyle.
No, we did. I'm not saying that we didn't. I'm just saying that looking at it from their perspective and extending them a little grace with it, um, they they look at us and they probably feel like, wow, we gotta hang our heads before these people, you know,
For all that
because
we've
they
done to them.
right, and it's not like we did anything to them, um, but we're over here, they're over there, and they're not living quite the standard. And but I find like some groups a little more hostile than others. I
Yeah.
think that I thought I look at the Ghanaians and the South Africans. I don't really see the hostility. Um, and the Ghanaians are West African too, but they welcome us. They even say you can have dual citizenship. You can have Ghanaian citizenship,
And now they
and
over
you
there killing people.
and you can maintain your American citizenship.
But now they over there killing people. It's like 9 women been killed over there. American black women been killed over there in Ghana.
Oh, okay, okay.
So
Well, you
they
know
over there
what?
killing people and they robbing people and taking the property back from them. They waiting for them to build up the
I'm not.
property and then they taking the property from them.
I'm not shocked. I've got friends on Facebook who I mean they're going to move back to Africa by hook or crook, and they feel that those of us who tell them be careful are being a little too paranoid. So it's good that this is happening.
Yeah.
But I don't want to say it's good that somebody's lost their lives or whatever. I'm just saying that for them, for their sake, to see both sides of this issue. You know, I mean, I there's a lady who was an African American woman who some time ago she defriended me. I forget her name, Vera, um, because she said I was too aggressive in my language. But she used to tell me about how the sanitation practices with Africans. She had moved to Ghana,
Yeah.
and she's like the sanitation practices. They're doing it in the middle of the street. I'm like, what?
Yeah. They drop right down, pull their drawers down and take a crap in the middle of the street, right in front of you.
I mean, this is 2024.
Yeah. And then come over
That,
here and call us lazy and uncivilized. I don't get it. That's why, I really wanted to kick it with you, especially because you do an overall view of, the African diaspora. But what I see more from you is a coverage of the black diaspora, which is a,
yeah, this
a
hemisphere, blacks
delineation.
in this
Yeah.
hemisphere.
Yeah.
Well, I feel more of a closeness to people who I'm close to.
Yeah.
You know, I got Afro-Cuban friends. I have that. I remember when I lived in Memphis, Stuyvesant, on a couple of occasions, I met an Afro-Bolivian brother. I met an Afro-Colombian brother, and they lived an Afro-Brazilian, and we was all living in the same neighborhood.
Yeah.
And of course, I mean, you got all the brothers and sisters from the Caribbean that live there, the Panamanians, and the Jamaicans and Barbadians and on and on, Chinese.
And
So
and
the
and if
real
I can interject a
international.
little bit, let me interject in that a little bit. And at that time, all of those people actually got along. It's when we stopped getting along with these people was when the Nigerians came and the Haitians came in the mix of that. Did you notice that?
Um, but conflicts that were, you know, easily dismissed.
Yes.
You know, Marcus Garvey is Jamaican. I mean,
And ain't did shit for
how do
us,
you?
and they're Jamaican. I'm just saying. He ain't do nothing but get them a citizenship, which not even a citizenship, it's a green card. He ain't do shit. Stole some money and bounced. I can't understand why everybody keep trying to give Marcus Garvey any praise because he didn't do a fucking thing.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you.
All he did
I
was
hear you.
wear a damn white people hat up and down, parading up and down the block with the white folks with a white people hat on. That's all I ever see. I don't see nothing else from him. So
I
where
hear
people
you.
be giving him praise, I don't see it.
No, I agree with you to a great extent. As a matter of fact, I got into a huge back and forth with brothers and sisters on my that page, my DAP page, about Marcus Garvey. Because a lot of people like look upon him as a hero. I don't look upon him as a hero. I looked upon him as a notable black person, you know, and
Yeah, notable figure,
yeah,
absolutely.
notable figure. It's like
But
somebody the other
he
day.
ain't saved shit.
I hear you, and he really didn't do anything that wasn't done 100 years before, you know. So
Yeah, I mean, if anybody take time out to do the history on these people, they'll recognize that they're not who you say they are or who you trying to convince us, the Black American, of who these out-town people who came in after we had did all the damn work to make everything up, the lights, the cable, the gas, the every that was Black American ingenuity.
I hear
So
you.
don't come in and try to make your people who didn't do shit for us our hero.
Yeah, yeah. It's pretty complex history, though. You know. Um, do you know that most of the South Carolinians, like in the Charleston area, they basically came from Barbados. Because at that time, um, the Caribbean was a slave breaking. Uh, this is where they went to take slaves to break them into um, break them away from the whole African culture.
But you know what, Isaiah?
And
I'm
the
gonna
reason
say
why they
something.
did that was to enable them to communicate with them British style, you know.
Yes, yes, yes.
So a lot of African American heritage is from the Caribbean. So
But that's not our heritage. That's their heritage.
no, it's our heritage because
It's
they brought
not.
them.
It's not. It's not. It's not. Because when I gotta be honest with you, Isaiah, my grandmother have never once said to me, "You're African." My grandmother have not. And when we would be claiming people, my grandmother would be telling us, "You're not related to them. We're not related to them." I'd be like, "This my cousin." My grandmother said, "No, it's not," because she was like real rude. But
Uh-huh.
her family was Blackfoot Indian. My grandmother was
Okay.
always very astringent to the fact that we wasn't slaves. We don't come from no slavery. We wasn't no slaves. Like she was real nasty about it. You get what I'm saying? Like you saying your grandmother was rough. My grandmother was harsh, but she was a sweetheart. You get what I'm saying? But she would be
Hmm.
stern about certain stuff. Like, no, we're not. No, we not. You're not related to them. No, that's not your father. Your father is over here. You know, because my stepfather I called dad, and my father I called pop. My grandmother was very firm. She looked over at my stepfather and look him up and down and said, "That ain't your dad."
Okay.
Hard like that hard is what I'm trying to tell you. Right in his face,
Uh,
right in people's face hard. And she have always stuck to the fact of we are not African. We are Blackfoot Indian tribe. We are already from here. Don't let them fool you. And as we've done the I don't know if you realize it or not, but they've done the research and most of them slaves was not dropped off in America. They was dropped off in the Caribbean, like you said, for the breaking of before they were distributed to any other country. But they landed in the Caribbean. They didn't land in the Americas. The Americas were already filled with black people. We are not all
uh,
slaves. This is another lie perpetuated against us. We were enslaved, but we didn't come as slaves. We were already here.
oh, okay. Well, we came here from Africa though. That's 400,000 people came here from Africa.
Not
You know what I'm
from what the
saying?
books say.
No, here. No, here in the United States, 400,000. There's a records of that.
Yeah.
Those records can't just be destroyed like that. But rumors and made up stuff. That is a fact. That
But they was not
400,000.
dropped off in the Americas, is what
No,
we
they
keep
were
trying to.
drafted. They were brought here to this particular part of the world, was maybe not called America at that time, which it wasn't. But
They were dropped in Hispaniola, where it were dropped over there with
no,
the Spanish people, and they were dropped over there
no,
with the English people, and then there was a portion that was dropped over here into America, into
no.
Virginia. But I'm telling you, look it up. You are a
I've
diaspora
looked it
culture
up. I
keeper.
know
Go look
there's
again.
400.
If I
Okay,
send you the information, will you take a look at it?
I've 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 I've, I've experienced this from some brothers. I don't know why or where this stuff is coming from, but
Um, if I send
you
you
know how
the
many,
information, will you look it up?
you know how much uh,
Because I don't know if you remember, I just
research
lost
has
my
been done
brother
on
over there in
this.
Barbados. Remember that? I just lost my brother over there in Barbados, so I'm not having a Barbadian fight. I'm trying to tell you about a history fight that they have covered up so well. And my grandparents have always told me, my grandfather, my grandmother, my grandfather, would
But
his whole purpose for his kids, they would always look at my uncles and my brothers and look at them like, you little rice geechee eating little nigga, you. Cause they always would call them geechee black folk. We never understood what that meant until we got older, and my grandmother would focus us back to the Geechee people. Like, this is your grandfather's people. These are not my people. Y'all get your color from these people right here. You're dark like that because of these people right here. But my people are not that color. My people are redder. And so if you ever look at my complexion, you'll see a darker outer surface, but underneath my skin is all red because I'm the one that looked the most like my grandmother. You get what I'm
I'm
saying?
gonna
Like,
ask you.
I'm trying to explain something. So I'm asking you, if I give you the information, will you check it out?
It does. You can send it to me. I mean, I want to ask you a question though.
Hmm.
I want to ask you a question. Do you believe that humanity began in Africa?
Not necessarily, no.
Okay. Oh, all right.
I
Okay.
believe we all come from one
Let me ask
seed,
you a
though.
question then. Let me ask you another question. All of the oldest human remains, where are they found?
I believe that we come from the one
No, but don't
seed
say
from
don't.
Africa.
Okay, but don't tell me what you believe.
That's what you asked me,
The
though.
fact. No, I didn't say. The
That's what you said. You
facts.
said, do you believe that we all come
No,
from?
no. I said the oldest human remains. Where do you believe they
See,
come from?
that's what you asked me. Do I
No,
believe?
okay, well, where do you believe they came from?
That's what you asked me. That's why I answered what I believe. You get what I'm saying? What I believe
Based
is
on
that
what
it
are
was
your beliefs
one.
based on, though?
What
What
I
are your
believe.
beliefs based on?
Well, you're asking me what do I believe, so I'm answering what you asked me. What I
Okay,
believe. You get what I'm saying? What I believe is that we were all structurally on one continent. And what I believe is that continental drift, what happened along the way was a breaking of the hey Jamie, what the breaking of the planet, which is, a metamorphosis in such a way that it broke the one state into different places. That's what I believe.
no, but I'm talking about today. I'm talking about when they search for and look for the oldest human remains. Where are they found?
I don't know, because they just found an older woman up in
Africa,
Canada. They just found
Africa.
a better skeleton up in Canada, bro, for real. They just
No,
found
the
a
oldest human
older,
remains.
go look at it.
The oldest human remains,
Yes, they just
dating back
found one, the
millions of
oldest
years.
woman remain in Canada just recently.
Okay, if you want to send me that information, you
Yeah,
can.
that's what I'm trying to tell
Okay.
you. If I send you the information, will you take a look at it? Because
I look at it.
we,
I look at it. But the
yeah,
oldest, the oldest human remains are
was just
always found
found
in Africa.
was just found in Canada. The oldest woman was just found in Canada. You get what I'm saying? So
You get,
there's different fallacies to this and what people think it is. And like I said, my belief is that we were all one continent and that the continents broke. And as we place them back together, when we look into the history books and we place these places and these puzzle pieces back together, they do seem to fit together in the way that they would have broken apart. That's what scientists have proved. So I'm saying to you that it was all one Africa. It was
So
all, but
you,
it
so
wasn't even
you
Africa.
saying
The
that the
Africa is a name that the white people gave them in the 60s. They ain't even called Africa. Africa is
that's
a
true.
name that they just came
No,
up with.
that's true. There's truth to that. I mean, that no, there's truth to that. But you believe that the American Indian or however you want to call them, because they weren't even called Indians.
No,
That's a name
they're
that that's
Aboriginal.
another name that's been imposed on them, right?
Yeah, they're Aboriginal people.
Okay, so the
They're not American. Yeah,
originals of this particular continent,
this landmass. Yeah.
right, right. So you believe that this culture, as expressed by African Americans, comes from the original people or Aboriginal peoples?
Yes, I believe
You have proof
our
of that?
culture. I believe
But
our culture does.
you have proof of that?
I'll send it to you.
How? No, 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 no. Tell me, do you have proof of that? That the talking drum comes from them?
Yes,
That the conga comes from them?
the conga comes from Brazil.
No, the conga comes from Africa.
No, it comes from Brazil first. The Brazilian
Well,
people made the conga.
no, it's an Americanized African drum.
Uh-huh.
That's just the
No, but
name.
it came from Brazil though. That was
That's just
the
the name.
African Spaniards who built that drum.
Mm, okay. Okay. So I don't think we're gonna ever agree on this. It's
we can
okay.
always we can always agree to disagree, but not only that, I
Sure.
need before the time runs out, Isaiah, I need for you to tell them where you can be reached at. Give them your information because I'm supposed to be over an hour, but I don't know if you know, but we're
Yeah, I know. We
streaming.
extended.
Yeah, we're streaming to different sites all at one time, and there's somebody, there's a show after mine that comes on after mine, so I'm like over my stream time.
Oh, okay, okay.
So let me
Sorry
know,
about
let
that.
them know where you can be reached. Give them your information before this, I end the stream.
Okay, you know what? Wow, I don't have my actual Facebook address, but when you come on Facebook, just put DAP in your search engine, and it should take you to my page. DAPP.
Capital D period, capital A period, capital P period, capital P period. DAP on
Yeah, with
Facebook.
an exclamation point and you're like an asterisk. Because you
Okay.
can just put DAP. It'll take you to my page.
Okay, good, good, good. And is there anything you want to say on our way leaving the studio?
Oh no, it's been a really great interview, and it's the first time I've ever actually really done an interview and that I can. I mean, other than the ones I did on other people myself. So it's been a pleasure. I've learned a lot,
Yeah, you see, I
and
I,
you've
I
been
ain't
a
gonna I
great
ain't gonna
host.
I ain't gonna put you through too much out of them little couple questions. It'd be to break the ice so I can.
Thank you, thank you. My virginity has been broken with this
Absolutely.
interview.
Absolutely. Wait. I was trying to get Playtel on here before you because I know he wants to listen to your interview talking about he gonna put his spanking on you and all this. I'm like, I don't know who he talking to. Cause I said, like, we'll jump you. Like, I don't know. They know me. They don't
Yeah,
know me too well. Yeah, we'll jump you. Like, you gotta be
jump
kidding
on
me.
that old man, man.
So his interview should be coming up recently. We was going at it
Okay.
last night. Yeah, there was a funny dude. We was going at it last night. He said, well, I want this picture right here. I'm telling him, I want to use another picture of him. Yeah, I want this picture. I'm looking at my messages. I just looked down at the message and put the phone back down and went to sleep. You know, cause my conversation goes something like, "This my motherfucking show. Who the fuck you talking to?" But then I stopped myself. He said, I ain't, what he say? He didn't lose a
You say he
debate
ain't
in
no
60.
pushover. Huh?
Yeah, he said he ain't lose a debate in 62 years. I looked down at my phone like, he got to be kidding. Like, that's what made me come up with that conversation. I was like, this my
That's
motherfucking
amazing.
show. Yeah, because I don't know who he talking to, but this my motherfucking show. And put that damn
He-
phone right back down and start laughing. So you done lost this debate, bro, because this my show.
but I know he enjoyed your interview though.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
know he enjoyed.
I like Mr. Blatell. I like Mr. Blatell. He is a funny somebody. But Isaiah Imani, I am so over my limit right now. I am pressing. Can I tell you thank you for coming to join me? And you're always welcome to come again.
Oh yes, sister. Yes,
You,
sister. Immensely grateful for the appearance tonight.
yeah,
I
you got
truly am.
another person screaming out, "Hey!" in the audience, Jamie.
Oh,
Yeah,
cool, Jamie.
yeah, yeah. So
Thank
they
you,
all
man. Have a good
screaming out.
evening.
All right. Make sure I'll get you the information. Thank you. I appreciate you. I need you to know that.
Likewise,
You know,
likewise.
we don't never share no barbs and no shots towards each other. So
No, we
this was
don't.
our
No,
good
we don't.
chance to, yeah, at
I
least
make
get
sure I
our
try to
chance
stay
to
on your
sit
good
down and
side.
kick it. Yeah. Don't tell nobody.
I don't
Don't
want none
tell
of that.
nobody.
I don't want to be fall victim to that Geechee
Yeah, that Dexter.
uprising in
Yeah,
your temper.
yeah, my instant Dexter that be flipping on that I be telling you about. That's wait, but Isaiah, that's why I say stuff like, listen to how you talking to me compared to how I'm talking to you though. Thank you, bro. I appreciate you.
You're welcome. Most welcome.
Yes, and I hope to see you on the page again, and we got to do it again sometime. Okay.
Will do. Will do.
All right. I thank
Have a
you.
good evening.
Well, guys, I'm thankful. You have no idea. This gentleman is always protecting my honor some kind of way, and I really so very much appreciate him. And yes, I will definitely get that information to him so that we can uh go through the paperwork and stuff. I am your host. You know, I always say God bless, and I'm gonna say God bless again because I had to pray to God for this stream to go right, and it got right before it got us. I just want to say thank you, Lord. In the name of Jesus, you're appreciated. And tell y'all next week we have somebody else. I don't know. Y'all go check the community page or check the Facebook page and you'll see it in there. And until then, we is
Fresh out of the freezer. Fresh, guess I was freezed up. Fresh out of the deeper freezer, cause I'm deeper than any voice on speakers. I can't hear y'all haters, you gotta speak up. I don't need to slow down, I need to speed up. Anonymous activity, Bobby B.